Welcome back, everyone, to the Paige Kornblue Show. I want to take a few minutes and just talk with you, not the headlines or the highlights here, my norm, just real life as it's settling in. It's a moment to pause, as I often do in my social media platforms, and call it Pause with PK. I want to talk about redefining family, often unexpected, a new path. I am divorced. It's been 5 years, not easily. A lot is hard, but it all doesn't have to be. My three kids and I just got back from spring break in Colorado. And it's one of those trips I want to share with you because it wasn't just a trip, it was a shift. My kids and I usually travel with close friends, shared houses, shared meals, or nearby hotel rooms and condos, always kids running around, all of it. But this year, everyone went in different directions. So ours was a little different. It was me, my three kids, their dad, and his fiance, a first for all of us. And I think when you hear that, there's an immediate reaction, right? Maybe curiosity, maybe hesitation. Definitely when I've told people there's a whoa or a what, because there's no real roadmap for that, no clear example of how it's supposed to go. Divorce, separation, whatever version of that people are living, it's not easy on anyone. There are a lot of layers to it. It's complicated. Emotions that don't just disappear because time has passed or because you want things to feel smooth, but it can be a lot easier. And what I keep coming back to from this past spring break week is this: it was easy. The trip, the idea of the trip, and we all had so much fun. So let's get into it just a little bit. The first few days it snowed, and I've always said I am a snow and sun kind of girl, both of them. I enjoy both. So I stayed back a bit on those first snowy days and I worked. I had quiet. I had a bit of peace. I got caught up on a lot of work and I was happy. A lot of coffee, the fireplace, a lot of work done there. And their dad took the kids out on the mountain and they skied all day, in and out. You know, there's a quote by Rumi and it stayed with me, and it's, try to learn to let what is simply be. And I think I finally understood that in a different way. And by the way, how nice it was to not feel forced onto the mountain, to go out skiing dark and early. Growing up, my dad pushed us to eat our oatmeal and get out the door. And when I was married, I felt I had to be there ready to ski or hike or whatever the activity was when the kids were ready and when my ex-husband was ready. They all get out the door so quickly, and I don't. I wasn't ready. And so back to Winter Park here. A few days later, that sun came out, and with it, PK was ready. I was ready to go. And we had so much fun on the slopes together at different times. Dear family friends joined us on the mountain. Stan, who's known me my entire life, and his daughter Emmy. And Stan is one of the many who has seen me through all the versions of myself, the highs, the heartbreak, the in-between, and he's been through a lot himself. So how about those kinds? Those who have been along for the ride, have seen you through all of the versions of yourself, those highs, the heartbreaks, the in-betweens, and the joys too, all of them. Being around someone like that reminds you life isn't just one chapter. It's all of it. And this year's spring break week held a little bit of everything. There were moments of togetherness on the mountain, over meals, ones my ex-husband gladly cooked, which was awesome. He's always been a great cook, never my strength. There were moments apart. There was this natural rhythm of coming and going. And I found myself noticing something I didn't necessarily expect. Like I said, it felt easy, not perfect, not without history, but easy. And I think a big part of that is this: I want my kids to have memories, family memories, real ones, joyful ones, the kind I look back on from my own childhood, those family trips, the laughter, the traditions that didn't feel complicated, just meaningful. I forget all of the tough stuff. Probably when my dad specifically was frustrated. Those memories you often forget, but I remember the family trips with such great joy and so much happiness. And I realize those memories don't have to look exactly the way I once imagined they would look. They just have to feel like something safe, supportive, present. And that's what this trip gave to my kids. That's what this trip gave to us all. Life doesn't always go the way we planned. We all know that. But sometimes, if we stop trying to force it back into what we thought it should be, it opens up space for something else, something different, something that still works, maybe even something better in its own way. I found myself looking around at one point at my kids, their dad, his fiance, a lifelong friend there, all at one dinner, all on this mountain full of moments, and thinking, this is family. Certainly not the version I once pictured, but still real, still grounded and full of connection and fun and laughter. And I think that's what I want to leave you all with today on this episode. If you're navigating something similar, divorce, separation, change in some way, just know this. It is not easy. It won't always feel smooth, and there's no perfect way to do it. But if you can pause, even briefly, and ask yourself what matters most, you might find a way forward that feels a little lighter, certainly a lot better, a little more open, a little more possible, especially for the kiddos. Sometimes it's not about recreating what was, it's about allowing something new to take shape and trusting that it can still be good, maybe even really good. So this is my pause with PK, the Paige Kornblue Show style, and I'm really glad you're here and really glad you listened in on this one. You can find much more on my website. It's paigekornblue.com, Paige with an I and Kornblue with a K. And until next time, cheers.